Hi. You'll see that in this section I've included another painting. This one is called, I think, The Triumph of St. Thomas Over the Heretics. You'll see, I didn't mean to include visual aids. I've said that visual aids in philosophy are usually pretty much useless. And I guess I'm proving myself a liar because I'm thinking about these paintings a lot and maybe thinking about how you could use them to gain some insight into the readings that we're doing. These two paintings are, if you look at the composition, it's really interesting if you actually sort of open the two paintings at the same time and compare them. The composition is very similar. We have a central figure in the background, and then in the foreground we have a number of other figures, and it strikingly similar. I guess it was a fairly common way to compose these big, gigantic, epic paintings. But the spirit of the paintings is quite different. In the School of Athens, in Raphael's School of Athens, we have the central figures of Plato and Aristotle, and then the two wings coming out either side, the great thinkers, the great Greek thinkers depicted in different ways, philosophers, mathematicians, scientists. But there's a feeling in that painting of a brightness and an optimism, and all of the thinkers are engaged in the same sort of thing, the pursuit of truth, one sort or another, and they're arguing with each other. And certainly Plato and Aristotle seem to have, in those hand gestures, seem to have fundamental differences. But there is this sort of spirit of open inquiry and hope, and I don't know. And then we look at the triumph of St. Thomas over the heretics, and it's a quite different thing, isn't it? You have the central figure of Thomas seated and surrounded by, I guess, these muses, or these women who exemplify knowledge and truth. And then on the wings you have all the defeated theologians, all the heretics. And a heretic is basically someone whose thinking about religious matters is disapproved of, or is not approved of. It's considered wrong and dangerous. And there are reasons that institutions do that, exclude certain thinkers, and they may be right and they may be wrong, I don't know. But there is that feeling of Thomas's triumph is a crushing of these other thinkers. You don't get that spirit of collective inquiry into truth. You get the notion that one man, for one reason or another, has found the truth, and luckily enough for everyone, has shown the errors of all the others. And you see their books are on the ground. They've been defeated. They've been stomped on because Thomas has discovered their errors and revealed the real truth of things. I don't want to push that too far, but it's an interesting opposition and different viewpoints into what truth is and how it's to be achieved, and how differences of opinion between thinkers are to be regarded. Certainly Plato and Aristotle aren't smiling at each other in that painting, but they're not snarling at each other, and they're not, they're both holding up their books proudly, as if both of them have substance and give us some insight into the truth, however incompatible fundamentally they may be with each other. And the last thing is, I wonder how Thomas would feel about that painting. I wonder if St. Thomas would regard his own work as being the definitive vanquishing of these other thinkers, or I wonder if he would elevate his own thought to that level, or did he see himself as being the ultimate triumph of Christian orthodoxy, or perhaps would he have felt more comfortable, the real human man, in the crowd, one thinker amongst many in the pursuit of truth, as the thinkers in the School of Athens are. One more painting you might want to look at, and perhaps I'll put it up. In the same room as the School of Athens, Raphael did another painting called the Disputation over the Hosts, which is sort of like the religious thinker version of the School of Athens, with Christ and the evangelists and Moses up in the sky in heaven, and then Augustine and Aquinas and other Orthodox accepted theologians on the earth, sort of below below them, but pursuing that higher truth. I think that at the end of the day, maybe Thomas would have felt more comfortable there. I don't know, that's just my guess. So an interesting visual sideline to what we're doing.